Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Wednesday, July 16th. I'm still in Vegas for Summer League. Sam's home. And again, we're here, ready to rock, ready to talk Celtics. Sorry, the shows have been a little shorter, a little bit out of sorts. That's just how it's going to be when I'm not home. And when I get home from Vegas, I'm going to the Cape for a week after like a few days. So it's going to be a mess for a little bit. July's going to get crazy. I think July's always going to be crazy because there's always going to be
We're
Summer League, and
entering
I'm
hell.
always going to do that thing. But we are indeed. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good. Excited for the show today. Summer League has been fun. As you guys are hearing this, it'll be Celtics Lakers Thursday night. A little exciting way to end the Summer League regular season, even though the Celtics will play a consolation game regardless of how that game goes. So they'll have a fifth game. But we'll go through, talk about a few things today. Little update on Al Horford. Some imaginary beef has been squashed within the Celtics team. Go through your emails. We'll go around the NBA and talk Summer League, and then we will do the rat list and get out of here. It's going to be a fun show. Stick around through all of it. Stick around. Subscribe to the channel. We are here every single day with new stuff. Even if July is going to be a little weird, we'll still be here. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game, and other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. We're also on Spotify and Apple, so leave a 5-star review there and follow. We'd appreciate that. But yeah, fun show ahead today, Jack. What's up first?
We can start with Al Horford. I did want to check something quickly before we do that. Al Horford. I want to look at the Summer League standings. I don't think there's a realistic possibility the Celtics can still get into the playoffs, but I wanted to double check and see how many teams are undefeated, because I think there have been instances in the past where a team who only lost one game but had the best what's the word, point differential snuck in. But it looks like that's probably not going to happen this year. There are a lot of undefeated teams, and the Celtics point differential isn't that great. So never mind. Ignore me. I don't think the Celtics are going to be seeing any playoff Summer League action. Regardless, Al Horford
Is the Summer League the hardest thing to win? It's like Summer League,
certainly not.
NBA Cup, and then the playoffs, because I mean everybody makes the playoffs. You can get into the playoffs, but the Summer League playoffs, it's very hard to get into.
Certainly not. That's certainly not how it works. Al Horford is still not on Warriors. All signs have indicated that. Mark Stein reported it. That's been the rumor ever since free agency sort of opened up, that he was going to sign with Golden State, but he's still not there. There are reports where he's waiting for Jonathan Kuminga to maybe, or the Warriors, I should say, were waiting for Jonathan Kuminga to get moved. They're waiting to move him in a sign and trade before they make the rest of their decisions. Horford and D'Anthony Melton are seemingly the likely candidates to get signed to the Warriors. Same thing, Bradley Beal might be an option for them if he doesn't go to the Clippers. However, I think it was Mark Beers came out and said he was supposed to sign already, and he hasn't. And so he's still considering some other options. He's still considering seeing what's happened. He's not coming back to Boston. I see you rubbing your hands. It's not happening. He's not coming back to the Celtics. I'll bet it right now. That's not what's going to happen. Based on everything, that's probably not going to happen. Brad Stevens wouldn't have said what he said at his press conference if there was even a little bit of a chance that Al Horford was coming back to Boston. Maybe he retires. Maybe he goes to another team. I've heard the Hawks and the Bucks. I think we talked about that on Havlicek Stole the Pod. That's with Justin Quinn and Alex. That's the new show over there. And Daniel Donibidi, and we talked about that yesterday. So those could be options. The Nuggets make some sense. The Lakers make some sense. So maybe it's just he's considering other options in terms of teams. But I think a lot of it is probably he's like, do I just retire? And I still think he ends up with the Warriors. I still think that's the likely outcome, but it does seem like there's a little bit more uncertainty at this point regarding where he could end up.
Yeah, I think I'm rooting for retirement. I'm so selfish. I just don't really want to see the teams that they are putting out there as potential Horford teams. People really hate the Warriors more than I do. I think I would be fine with it. Like maybe I'd even get like a cool like Al Horford Warriors t-shirt jersey. I think that's something I want to start collecting, is like when guys leave the Celtics that I liked. That way, if I ever need to hate watch against a team, I'll have like a Warriors thing to wear. It's neither here nor there. The Warriors are like the lesser of all the evils, right? Like seeing them on the Lakers would kill me. It would be terrible. It would hurt. I almost feel more strongly about Milwaukee than Golden State too. Like that's another team that was floated as a destination for him. Boston has gone to battle with Milwaukee several times over the last decade in the playoffs. And Horford's most maybe memorable Celtic moment came against Milwaukee, where he had the dunk over Giannis after Giannis dunked at him and Horford nodded at him and then proceeded to score 30 points in what was basically a must-win game. It would be really weird to see him playing on that team. Atlanta would be fine. That would be cool. Go back to Atlanta. It's where he started his career. Porzingis would be there. They'd continue to be teammates. I could get behind that, but I just think retirement would let me rest easy.
I think I want to see him go to the Warriors. I think that's the most fun, and I think that'd be the best for Al. Like, if he wants to, one, get paid, and two, compete for a championship, the Warriors make too much sense. Steph Curry is still a top 10 player in the NBA currently. Jimmy Butler is one of the better playoff performers we've seen in the last 20 years. Draymond Green is still one of the best defenders in the NBA. They've got a decent young core there. Moses Moody, Brandon Pachimski, Quentin Post. Like, they've got young guys who can help contribute. You add D'Anthony Melton to that. You add Buddy Hield to that if he's still on the roster. Like, you've got guys who can play their roles well. You add a center to that, and you're even better. The Warriors haven't really had a center for the entirety of this dynasty or whatever run you want to call it, with Steph and Draymond and Clay when he was there before he left for Dallas. Having Al Horford would be pretty cool for them. Like, they lost Kevon Looney, so it kind of already feels like they're planning to be like, all right, sounds like we're getting center. Sorry, Looney. Like, we appreciate you. We're going to move on. We're going to get a new look in here with Al Horford. And it is weird that he hasn't signed, right? Because all indications have pointed towards him having already been on the roster by now. Past that, I think the Hawks would be pretty cool, right? The Hawks are good, man. The Hawks are going to be a really, really good team in the Eastern Conference next year. Trae Young, for as many defensive liabilities as he has, there are a lot of them, is one of the best offensive players in the NBA and has been for the past 5 years. Tyson Daniels is one of the best defenders in the league. He just won Most Improved and was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. Ricochet had a promising rookie season. He's an elite shooter. He has great length. He's a solid defender. Jalen Johnson should have been a Most Improved candidate a couple years ago. He's awesome. Okongwu at the center position. They just traded for Porzingis. It would be funny if the Hawks just stole the Celtics center position and had Porzingis and Horford. I mean, they just signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker to come off the bench. They just had Luke Kennard for shooting. Like, they have a good roster, and adding Al Horford might put them over the top, right? I'm not saying they're going to win the finals. I'm not saying they're definitely going to win the East, but you add Al Horford to that, and shit, man, they can compete with anybody in the Eastern Conference. And I think they can already compete with anybody in the Eastern Conference. So adding a guy like Horford to the mix would really, like, give them an extra punch. So I like that. The Bucks don't make any sense. I don't know what they're cooking. Like, go, please God, go spend on a point guard. Don't sign Al Horford. What are you doing?
Juice.
Yeah, like, what is happening, man? Like, Al Horford, Miles Turner, these are guys you should have signed when you had Drew Holiday, when you had Chris Middleton, when you had Damian Lillard, not after you get rid of all of them and spend all of your money waving and stretching your only good point guard and getting rid of Chris Middleton and trading Drew Holiday and then signing Miles. Like, it doesn't make any sense what the Bucks are doing. I don't understand their thought process. The Lakers make obviously a ton of sense. I mean, it would probably suck a little bit for Horford. They might just start him as double bigs with him and Aiden. I think that'd be pretty good. Like, basketball perspective, it would be great for the Lakers to sign Al Horford. And then the Nuggets make some sense too. I don't know if they've been floated, but they make sense. They make less sense now that Valanciunas is, like, definitely going to go there instead of going overseas. However, just in general, I think they could make it work if he'd be willing to, like, play some four. So I think the Warriors and Hawks, though, for me, are my favorite destinations for Al.
Agree. The least painful. The Warriors would be cool. But yeah, selfishly, my opinion matters the most, and I think he should just retire. Call it a day.
I don't want him to retire, man.
Just
still,
come to
he's still
Celtics
good.
games and sit
He can
courtside.
still play. I want him to go, like, play. Like, don't like, I want him to go win. I want him to go play basketball still. Don't retire. That's
But if he retires now, he never has to hear, like, the washed conversations. He
I don't
never
think
had.
he's washed. He's not washed.
No, I don't think
He
he's
can
washed
play.
either. You always run the risk. You can run the risk of being
Stop
washed.
coping. Stop coping.
I'm coping, man. I don't want him to leave. It sucks. And the thing that sucks the most is I believe deep down that, like, if Tatum didn't get hurt, he would come back. But now it makes sense for him.
Definitely.
To be on the team. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
they're not going
Which
to be as
sucks.
competitive. Denver. All right. So last thing in Horford is everyone's like been clamoring for Denver. Denver's just continuously not being listed as a potential. I think the Valanciunas thing getting cleared up
Yeah, I was gonna say.
kind of ended that. But during the early Horford days, people were like, "Put him on the Nuggets, please."
Yeah, I just don't think it makes much sense anymore. Next thing, Jaylen Brown, Georges Niang were spotted at the Connecticut Sun Indiana Fever game in Boston the other day. Georges Niang was out here for Summer League with Josh Minot, Luka Garza, Xavier Tillman, etc., in the front office and company, etc., in Vegas. Flew back out to Boston. I'm pretty sure he was on Bobby Manning's flight, like a bunch of those guys' flight. Bobby, Jay, maybe Adam. So they saw them there, and then he obviously went to the Sun game, met up with Jaylen Brown. They took a picture. Twitter went crazy because everyone just assumed Jaylen Brown still hated Georges Niang, even though I'm pretty sure he's like saying, "Yeah, whatever." Like I don't think he gave a shit ever.
I'll let you finish.
Yeah.
He never hated Niang. He never hated
Exactly.
him. So today I wrote about it for Harvard Houdini just because this has been the most fascinating thing to me this summer, that a guy from Massachusetts gets traded to the Celtics and everyone's like, kill him. We don't want him on the team. Like the reception to Niang by the fan base has probably been the most pathetic thing I've seen from the fan base in recent years. I'm trying to think if there's anything worse. I hope not, because that would be a really bad thing for me to forget. They've been so universally negative about him and loudly negative that it's head scratching. And it all stems from that weird Jaylen fell into the Sixers bench and then Niang kind of grabbed his leg. After that game in 2023, hours, maybe minutes after the incident, Jaylen was like, I didn't think anything of it. Niang's a cool dude. We work out together. We both just kind of got caught up in the heat of the game. He said that day. He never had an issue with him. And yet people, the stupid, nameless, faceless, dumb fucking burner accounts on Twitter were leading the charge with the pitchforks and the torches, being like, fuck this guy, Jaylen hates him, we stand with Jaylen. Until I see Jaylen take a picture or do a handshake with Niang, I'm not forgiving him, I want him off my team. Well, you dumbasses finally got what you wanted. The Celtics account tweeted the picture of the two of them. They never had beef. They never had beef. This was the dumbest thing. And everybody, including me, now I'm worked up about it. They pissed me off. They got to do something about those stupid burner accounts, man. They have too many followers.
Yeah, I don't know. People just hated Niang because they thought he was bad because the whole Jaylen thing. It is what it is. I mean,
he's not bad.
He's good. He's a good player, and
who's been on good
I don't know if
teams?
I know. I don't know if he'll get the chance to play for the Celtics. I don't know what the deal is going to be with the way their trades work. I don't know how they're going to try to duck under the second apron. I think Simons is certainly the most likely candidate to be a loss because of that. Niang makes about $8 million, so that would also make some sense if they did want to dump somebody. So I don't really know. We'll have to wait and see. But if he does end up playing for the Celtics, hometown team, kid from Lawrence, would be pretty cool. Would be a pretty cool story. He's a pretty good player. Would help them win games next to Jalen, Derek, and Peyton.
He looks kind of slim.
Time will tell. Yeah. Time will tell.
He's our Luka Doncic, where we're like, did he get skinny this offseason? That's the narrative.
Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone, man. All right. Let's check out y'all's emails. Reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. But before we do that, actually, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. This baseball season, it was the best place this basketball season, and it will be next basketball season once basketball ends up coming back. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player props for a chance to win up to 2,000x your cash. Make sure to check out PrizePicks. I've been rolling with it during the Red Sox season. That's been my sort of vacation from the Celtics before I got here for Summer League. Obviously, now I'm just back in it. But Sedan Rafaela has been on fire. It was the All-Star break recently. So we've got to see all the stuff with the Home Run Derby, the All-Star game, which also went to a Home Run Derby. It went to a swing-off to decide who won the All-Star game, which was pretty cool. So make sure to check it out. The app's really easy to use. Again, just create a lineup, and all you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats for a chance to win up to 2,000 extra money. It also offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick, easy deposits into your account this sports season. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Okay, now the email. Again, reminder as always, you guys can email us at hptcpod@gmail.com. That's hptcpod@gmail.com. We have a few to go over today. First one, Philip says, fellas, in Celtics retool. Fellas, in December of last year, Tim Bontemps published an article that created an NBA all-contract team. In a lot of ways, he was creating an ideal team for the new CBA. Well, the Jays didn't make the team in favor of smaller stars and smaller contracts like SGA. He did choose several Celtics like White, Payton, Allen, Hauser. No other team had nearly as many players. Given the Celtics retained 3 of those 4 players, I have reason to hope the next iteration of the Jays era will continue to be great. My question about the other players Bontemps identified as all NBA all contract players that could work possibly on the Celtics, in particular, like 3 guys that he mentioned and seem tradable: Derek Jones, Jay Huff, and Scottie Pippen Jr. Do any of those names stand out to you as interesting potential additions or upgrades to the Celtics roster? Best, Phil. Yeah, I mean, Jay Huff already got traded. He's already on the Pacers, so I don't think he'll get moved again. I don't know if that was before or after this email, but he's probably going to replace a lot of those Miles Turner minutes. I like Derek Jones. Very possible, I think, in an Anthony Simons trade. If they sign Bradley Beal, I assume they won't do it. But maybe if they don't win the Beal sweepstakes or the Chris Paul sweepstakes, maybe they'll show some interest in a Bradley or Anthony Simons deal with Derek Jones and Bogdanovich. Then Scott Jr. is cool too. Maybe the Grizzlies are more interested in trading him because they signed Ty Jerome, but I don't know how many more guards the Celtics need. But they could use one behind White and Pritchard if they do trade Simons and don't sign Dame. But he'll be out this year anyways.
Yeah, I think of the 3, Derek Jones Jr. is the realistic one. Because we've literally done mock trades with Derek Jones Jr. In the case, before Holiday got traded, it was him. Now it's Simons, as Jack mentioned. He just feels like the one with a real pathway here. I don't know if Memphis wants to get rid of Scottie Pippen Jr. Part of being on the all-contract team means that the team you're currently on, even though Jay Huff got traded, so it's not a perfect science thing, they probably want you to be around for a while. So I don't know if we're going to see Scottie Pippen Jr. get moved. But Derek Jones Jr. would be cool. Can't complain.
Definitely. I would like Derek Jones Jr. A lot on this team. I think he'd be a perfect 4. I think he'd be a fun guy to look at, especially for when Jason Tatum came back. So I'd be down. Super cool if that's where the Simons trade led. Yeah, for sure. Next, David says, question, Sam and Jack, hope summer is going well. What a devastating end to the year. Now we can't even get excited for one of the most fun lineups in basketball. This email's namesake, we've been downgraded to just the fellas. Sadness. A title run is pretty much out of the question at this point, and even a deep playoff run is unlikely. On top of that, we're bound to see the boys lose the classic Tuesday and February games to the Raptors or Blazers. We might even lose the season series to the Sixers and the Knicks. Wow, this email has spiraled fast, and I didn't even talk about additional injuries. In light of the upcoming season, what are the 3 to 5 realistic goals and hopes that you and Sam have for this team? What or who is there to get excited for regarding future trades this summer and all the CBA talk? I'm not sure if this already exists or if we can make one. Would you be able to create a percentage bar /chart / other visual to show how much salary is being taken up by who? I'll answer this here. Spot Track has the multi-year salary cap table, and it gives you percentages of how much the cap is being taken up by each contract. So you use Spot Track. It's really great. It gives you like Jason Tatum's contract is 34.8% of the cap, stuff like that. So Spot Track has it on their multi-year salary cap table. How much they are over the first and second apron, how much is remaining, it'd be helpful as the viewer to see during those discussions / what ifs. I'll pull up Spot Track when we talk because they have all of that information. Lastly, the season is going to be brutal for Joe. I don't know how his philosophy is going to work with his roster construction. Y'all in the press corps are going to be pointing out constant flaws / errors that were inevitably be abundant this year. And he's already struggled answering those questions last year with one of the best rosters in the NBA. With that, do you have any questions locked and loaded that you're excited to ask Joe? Regards, David. Okay, so the 2 we didn't answer are what are a few things we're excited for and the questions for Joe. So we can start with what we're excited for. I still think this roster is going to be better than what people think. I still think they're going to be fighting for the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. I think people are continuously forgetting that they still have a top 5 to 7 player in the Eastern Conference. They still have one of the best role players in the Eastern Conference, 2 of the best role players in the Eastern Conference. Yes, the center play is bad, but if you see any semblance of development from Keita, I think you can get by. If you see any development from Garza, I think you can get by. Like, I still think this team's going to do better than what a lot of people think. So I'm rooting for that. And for as much as I have been skeptical in the past, I am rooting for the development of Kata. Like I think that would significantly help the Celtics, not even just like specifically next season, but you still need a center for the future. And so if you get that next year, it would bode very well for when Tatum gets healthy. So that's one of my biggest things, or a couple of them.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest things to be excited about and to watch for is just, oh, who's going to be able to step up? Like you have to be monitoring and rooting for guys to develop, whether that is Kata or Garza, or it's somebody like Jordan Walsh or Shireman, who are probably going to have more minutes this year than they've had in the past. There's room for that. And then there's also like the realistic goal, if they do keep Simons, to see what they can do with him. He really is one of the more intriguing pieces on this team, and we haven't really fully dove into him just yet because none of us are certain that he's going to be on the team when training camp rolls around. But if they do keep him, they probably have some belief in being able to develop him as a defender, and with how great he is as an offensive player, that could make him a real weapon for the Celtics down the line. But who knows if that'll even happen. Once the season starts, I think I'll have a better feeling for what I want it to be. I kind of want them to stay competitive, but at the same time, it would be nice to be watching the draft lottery with hopes of getting a guy who's going to be on a relatively cheap contract and can help the team for years down the line when Tatum's healthy again. So I would say, in a very long-winded way, depending on how things go, tanking might be the goal that I am looking at.
I disagree. I think they'd be better than people think. So I want to see them win. As far as questions for Joe, I don't really have anything yet. I mean, a lot of them will be based on the roster, and I also think the important thing to remember is like, for as much as Joe might be skeptical or people will be skeptical of Joe, like the same people who are going to be complaining that the roster isn't good enough and they're going to be bad are the same people who are going to be mad at Joe that they're not good enough. Like that's kind of like the balance here. You have to remember, like, if the roster's not good enough, you can't really put it all on Joe. And I think it'll be a lot of questions of, what do you want to see from Kata do better here? Why didn't Kata find this rebound here? Why isn't how can Peyton Pritchard improve more as the primary guy? Now that more defenders are going to be guarding him, like high level defenders are going to be guarding him. Like, what improvements have you seen from Derek White in preparation for that role where he's going to have an elevated position within the flow of the offense? Like, how can Shireman improve as a secondary creator? Like stuff like that. Like, focusing more on the development of guys as they navigate this season rather than, oh my gosh, you guys suck. How aren't you winning games? Like, you almost have to adjust the questions to the expectations. The questions the past few years have been a lot of, why didn't you win this game because of this? Because they're expected to win every game. They're not going to be expected to win every game this year. I remember the past 2 years, we have been shocked when they're not favored in a game. They're not going to be favored in a lot of games this year. So you almost have to adjust the questions to the expectations.
Yeah, and speaking of expectations, the lack of them makes the season more fun. Just think about how fondly, like, a lot of us remember, like, the 2017 team with Isaiah that he almost won the MVP, or didn't almost win. He was top 5 in MVP. The 2018 team that almost made the finals. Because nobody expected them to make it that far, it made it all the more fun when they did. So if the Celtics do surprise people and overperform their expectations this year, it could be a lot of fun. It just really depends on where you stand. Because if you're in the tank camp, then you're going to be pissed in a year if they have nothing to show for losing Tatum for a season. It's almost like a trade, but I don't know. It's more of like, I want to see what's there first before I make a decision on what I would like the team to do.
Definitely. Okay. Next email is from
also,
RJ.
Thank you, David.
Says,
good email.
Yes, thank you, David. I don't know if we've got an email from you, but appreciate you. RJ, Summer League roster math. Evening, folks. Time for reality check for Summer League. Training camp rosters have a limit of 21 players. By the end of camp, you wind up with 15 guys on regular contracts and 3 on two-way players. So let's count. The Celtics have 15 players under guaranteed contracts or partially guaranteed contracts. Miles Norris is a two-way contract. Let's assume Amari Williams and Max Shulga have the inside track for the other two ways. That's 18 players in camp right off the back. That leaves 3 more training camp spots for the remainder of the summer camp attendees, and that's just to get to practice in the Airbag Center, maybe get a contract demand. So we enjoy the summer Celtics, but come to the regular season, none of these guys are going to land more minutes than Garza or Niang. P-Well, RJ agree, and I don't even know if many of them will end up on the training camp roster because you have to remember the past years, guys like Noah Vonleh and Lonnie Walker getting added too. So there's going to be some extra flexibility.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if like Kendall Brown kind of seems like the kind of guy that they would want to keep in Maine. He's impressed me so far. Granted, going into it not really knowing anything about him, having to watch the playback and then be like, "Who's that guy? Number 38." I like his headband and his long socks. That's very least. And then he's a really good finisher. Looks effortless for him to rise up to the rim and lay the ball up so soft off the glass. Never looks flustered. Good cutter. I think he has like a little bit of potential to be a good off the ball player. I would like to see him at training camp and probably with Maine. Like that's my number one look. Kenny Lofton, maybe if he plays like he did in game 3, like if he decides he would like to be a ball mover and actually connect with his teammates instead of going watch this and barreling through traffic, he could probably be a good G League player. Granted, he might not want to do that after winning MVP in China and probably getting paid more money to live there and everything.
Yeah. I'm cool on the Kenny Lofton.
Did you see Kenny Lofton get face scanned into 2K?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the game, so you could sign him to your roster once you get 2K26.
Yeah. I'm cool on that. I don't know if I want Kenny Lofton there, but yeah, that's all right. I don't know. I think Kendall Brown's a good shout. I would like Jaylen Bridges. I think Jaylen Bridges is almost guaranteed. I know in the Jay King tweet when he announced the Summer League roster, he said the plan is for him to go to camp in the fall and compete for a roster spot. So I think Jaylen Bridges will maybe be someone. And for what it's worth, I kind of like Jaylen Bridges. I like what I've seen in his limited minutes so far. I thought he hustled well on the defensive end, had a nice block in transition, obviously hitting some threes. So I don't mind that at all. Last email we have from Isaac. How about them Red Sox? Damn fucking right, Isaac. How about them Red Sox? 10 in a row. So Dan Rafael is a GOAT. Should have been an all-star. Fuck the Yankees. I'm hyped. I'm jacked up. The Red Sox look awesome right now. They're peaking at the right time. I think they're only 3.5 games out of the East, of the lead in the East. They're in the second wild card spot. They've been on fire. Rafael looks like one of the best outfielders in baseball. He's one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball. He had a nasty walk-off home run over the Monster a few nights ago. I've been jacked up. I haven't had the chance to watch as much. I'm like following box scores and watching highlights and watching the tweets rolling and everything because I've just been out here in Vegas and the time zones are weird. But hell yeah, man, go Sox! I'm jacked up.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Jack, except I'm home and not really that busy. It's just I don't have Nesson. I don't pay for Nesson. The $300 a year it costs to have Nesson and watch the Red Sox. So
I pay.
I also follow along just through like the conglomerate of weird Red Sox Twitter. Like I think that's where all the weird Celtics Twitter people went, is to Red Sox Twitter, and it's so fun to watch all of them. So shout out to them. The Red Sox are probably like the biggest, when they're fun, they're really fun team. Like I think playoff baseball is peak sports. We've talked about this before, where like it's so intense, every pitch matters, like the game can change every time the ball goes to the plate. I love it. So I'm rooting for them to be there in October. But at least we got something to pay attention to this summer.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Go Sox, baby. Hell yeah. All right, NBA section briefly before we move on. I don't know how much there is. I know there was some LeBron stuff of, he hasn't asked for a trade. It's not actually happening. I don't care. If there's actual news, we can talk about it. There's nothing here.
There really is.
Yeah, this is all just everyone's like, yeah, go ahead.
The Athletic did put out today, like the expectation is for him to be there on both sides. What made me laugh during the show today is I was scrolling Twitter, and these Legion Hoops, like NBA Central accounts, are addicted to putting out the newest betting odds for where guys are going to be. So last week, the top team for LeBron, if he wasn't going to be on the Lakers, was the Mavericks. All week it was like, if he gets traded, it's going to be the Mavericks. Like, that's what the sports books say. Today it's the Cavs now. The Cavs are now the favorite. They've overtaken the Mavericks as the favorites.
They're not addicted to posting the odds. They're addicted to DraftKings or Bovada or whoever giving them a hefty paycheck to post the odds. That's what they're addicted to. That's definitely what they're addicted to. But yeah, the LeBron stuff is silly. I don't think it's real. What is real? Silver talked yesterday, excuse me, as we're recording this about league expansion. Basically was like, yeah, we're going to bring it up. We're going to talk about it. It's been a thing. He also, Celtics news said, or they didn't talk about the sale, but that's expected to be discussed and finalized and voted on, et cetera, in the coming weeks. But yeah, they said we're going to talk about expansion. We're going to talk about that. I mean, we've been talking about it for years now. Like the media has, Vegas and Seattle just seem like the obvious places that are going to get expansion teams. I'm very excited for expansion. I think it's going to be very, very, very cool to see brand new teams in the NBA. I think it's going to be cool to see players get new opportunities and new roles to thrive. I think it's going to be cool to see 30 more jobs get created and really 36 more jobs with the two-way contracts get created and really like 90 new jobs get created with coaching and G League teams and G League coaches and rosters and front office. Like so many new basketball jobs are going to get created and new media member jobs are going to get created. Like it's just going to be a very, 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 very cool thing for the NBA. And I'm excited to see how that rolls out.
They need it. There are so many good players that don't really get an opportunity or guys that could be rotation players. Like, all right, O'Shea Brissett just signed in Tel Aviv the other day. O'Shea Brissett may not be like the pinnacle of guy that could be an NBA rotation player, but he contributed to a Celtics championship team. He wasn't regularly in the rotation, but anytime they put him in, his role was understood. He played hard. He had a moment in game 2 of the conference finals where he had 3 steals in 12 minutes of play, and he was just all over the place. Like, guys like that can still play basketball, but it has become such a science in like almost like a spreadsheet where it's like you have to check so many boxes. You can shoot. You can't be a defensive negative too much unless you're the star player, and you won't be on a roster. The room for error is going to become greater, and expansion makes so much more sense now because people all over the world are playing basketball. They're being exposed to basketball because the game is growing, and you're seeing more and more talented players than ever. Guys that aren't Americans have won MVP every year since 2019, I think. What was it? It was Shea, Jokic, Embiid, Jokic a bunch of times, Giannis a couple times. The game is global. It's so cool. And now that there are more players, there need to be more teams. I'm so for it. Seattle deserves to have a team. Sucks that OKC won the title from their perspective this year because that would have been them. But it would be cool to have them back. Good colors in Seattle. Vegas is whatever. But I think Seattle's like the big one. Like I'm like pumped for them.
I'm excited. Expansion's gonna be very fun. Excited to see what the team names are, etc. WNBA is expanding, so that gives you a little taste. Like Portland just got their new team back. Portland Fire. Yeah. So I'm amped up to see how it all rolls out in the coming years. It's gonna be a while, obviously, before we see it. But as far as summer league, I don't think there's anything else crazy.
I got something for you.
Sure.
Hansen Yang. Talk about him.
Still, we talked about him last time. He's good. He's fun. He's a good player, man. He got though. Derek Queen owned his ass yesterday.
Did he?
I watched it. Derek Queen was bodying him every possession down the floor. Derek Queen looked really good. Derek Queen looked really good, man. So shout out to Derek Queen. Hansen Yang. Real shit though. He's the real deal. He's really good.
Johnny Furphy dunked on Noah Senge. Tough.
Oh, he did. That picture is
ever.
gonna live forever. Mm-hmm. I was in the gym for that, and I was looking at my computer writing, so I didn't see it. So I was sad. But
anything
yeah, and then the Jordan
from Summer League. Do you have any tales?
Not really. The Jordan Walsh ejection, I was on my phone texting for, and so on the broadcast, you can just be like this, and it looks like I'm getting a video, but I'm just texting. I didn't get a video.
I thought you were getting a video, and then you were laughing. I was like, "Oh, he just got like a gold mine video, and he's pumped."
No. I was texting. Tales for Summer League, not really. Nothing crazy. No, I don't think so. I really haven't done too much. I've written a lot. I've talked to some people. I got nothing.
Okay.
Insane so far. I've met some cool people. I met this guy Isaac who works for an agency. He's very nice. He was a Celtics guy. I met Tony, who's a cool Spanish reporter here covering Ugo. I met Matt, photographer, some guys just in the last few days. But other than that, like I've just been meeting people, cool people. But we can do the rat list if you want to. What you got?
All right, we can do it. Rat list. I've been talking about it, but this is my last show in this room. I'll never do a show from here again because I'm moving. I move tomorrow. Moving is something because I've never not lived at home. A lot of packing, a lot of thinking about packing, a lot of preparing for move-in day, getting everything organized, getting everything ready for the building, getting the U-Haul. A lot of steps involved. Very stressful. I'm like, I mean, I'm usually pretty irritable, but I'm more irritable this week. Like, I'm like just annoyed. Like, I feel like I could snap at any point. I can not wait until this is over. We did finally get to see the apartment. For those listening, when my girlfriend and I decided to move into this place, like, it was a very impromptu. We were looking to move, but the place in particular that we picked, we didn't even have on our radar. We just went in there because there's a basketball court in the building. It was like, oh, this would be funny if we lived here, but we thought it would be at our price range. We said, like, oh, we're looking for something a little, like, more in this range, and they were like, actually, this is going to open up today, so we did it, like, instantly to make sure we got the apartment. People were living in there, and they were planning to move into a different unit this summer. So they are finally out, and we got to go in and look at it the other day, and it is nice. So I'm happy about that. The mystery of where we're going to live, what it actually looks like, is out the window.
Yeah, I still haven't seen my apartment. I've seen pictures and stuff, but my roommates were there, and I didn't get the chance to go before we signed the lease, so I'm just kind of going in blind in terms of actually getting to see the apartment. So I feel that. All rat list. So I went to use the bathroom the other day, and I was like walking over. I did the whole knock, knock, nothing. Turned the handle, it was open. I like knocked again, walked in. I'm like, oh, we're good. Someone's just in there, washing their hands. I'm like, do we not
At
lock
least they're
doors?
washing their hands.
But like, one, say something. I knocked twice. Two, lock the door, man. Like what are we,
Was
what
it
are we
like
doing?
So was it like a
It
men's
was a
room
single
or was it?
bathroom.
So
it was like
anybody could have been in
all
there.
gender bathroom. Yes, it was a single all gender
Oh
bathroom.
boy,
Lock the door.
That could have been far worse than it was.
That's what I'm saying. Lock the door. What are we doing? I did my due diligence. I knocked twice. I like
Yeah, you did
I
your
even
best.
did the little handle jiggle to be like, okay, I'm coming in. Didn't matter. Dude was like, oh, here. I'm done anyways. Thanks. He walked out, and he was wearing like a headset, but it was one of those headsets that only has one thing, and so another ear. So he heard the knocking. Whatever. Nothing
He was
bad
hoping to
happened.
get caught.
Just not lock the door, dude. People need to lock doors.
Oh man. They ratless college football. So like when games come out, the game nowadays, like, because developers can patch games after release, they're not always perfect upon release. There's like bugs and stuff. So currently college football has this bug that if you use a custom playbook, it'll just turn your shit off. Like the game will crash. It'll turn your system off sometimes. And it's not like guaranteed to happen. So it only happens like every once in a while. But when it happens, it's even more frustrating because you're like, oh, maybe I can get away with this. And then it's like, no, your Xbox can get turned off. So that's happened to me a couple times. Kind of annoying. Shout out to Henry, though. Henry is in our college football league with me and all my friends. Henry pushed me to the absolute brink the other day. He was a machine on offense. I couldn't stop him. And then I took a lead, or I think I tied him with like a minute left. And then he threw me a pick trying to drive down and kick a field goal. And it was a pick six. And then he threw me another pick.
Yeah.
At the end.
Those are the tough ones. You do one mistake, then you're like trying to go too fast because you need to make up for the time. And then it ends up being bad. I don't know if I have anything else. I think that's it. I think I'm chilling. I'm sure I'll have more later on in Vegas. Went to In-N-Out last night with Bobby K. Very fun. Shout out to In-N-Out. Good prices.
Where are you guys staying? Do you not want to stay on the show?
I don't care. It's Alexis Park. We're staying off the strip. It's not bad.
I forgot about that.
It's fun. Yeah, off the strip. It's good. We found an all-you-can-eat sushi place the other night too. It was like $30. It was like 40 post-tip, but housed a bunch of food. I had like 2 spam musubis. I had miso soup. I had like 4 half rolls of sushi. I had a strawberry mochi at the end. I had a drink. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was everything I needed in that moment. It opened till 2 a.m. So we were there at like midnight. It was phenomenal. They had League of Legends on the TV, and that was great for me.
I think that would piss me off if I went somewhere. Like, if it was like Call of Duty, like on the TV, I have friends that'll talk about like the championships, and I'm just like, shut up, dude.
You're the worst.
I am the worst. I told you I'm irritable this week.
That's all I got. I don't have anything else.
Just been hot. preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah, it's
like
hot. It's
you're
hot.
probably
for
like,
sure.
shut up, dude. Like you're not in Vegas with this 100-degree heat every day.
I'm inside most of the time.
It's
so
hot
not
out, man.
terrible.
It's fucking hot here. Knock it off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. I got nothing else. I'm good.
Yeah, that's it for me. I
All right.
do more packing. I'm all done working today, which is good. At least for stuff I have to do, I can do extra.
Yeah.
So that's good.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that time. Take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling about Al Horford, Georges Niang. You better not be mean to Georges Niang in my comments, our comments. I'll be lurking and I'll tell you you're stupid. Subscribe to the channel. We are here every day with new stuff. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps of the one after each game. And other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want the audio stuff, go ahead. We got you covered. Follow us there. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Big thanks to RJ, Phil, David, and Jax who sent in emails today. Shout out to you. Be like them. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Samuel France. Yeah, it's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.